Hello everybody and welcome to the ITK Soccer Show. It is the 18th of January 2018. Myself and Dan and John are back after last week's episode to chat about the results and lots of transfer news basically, and lots of stuff that's happening. We'll also preview this coming weekend's Premier League action and do our usual awards, and fantasy is actually going to work this week, so we'll see where we're all at. How are you doing, gentlemen?
Grant? Too bad.
Cool. Alright, let's start off with
John's
this.
fine too.
I hear. We talked last week about people who were in line for the Stoke City job. Martin O'Neill was a name mentioned. We didn't know what was going on with Roy Keane, if it was going to be some sort of dual thing or whatever. But anyway, he has officially rejected it, and he's sticking on with Ireland, yeah?
It certainly seems it. It's Ireland is its most unprofessional, ridiculous manager contract saga for us forever, I'd say.
Why?
Well,
is it just because it's public?
But why would he say I'm going to sign a new contract?
Yeah.
In September.
Is it not the most outrageous contract statement for the FEI since the last manager in this exact situation? When Trapattoni said he had agreed a contract in 2012 before we got absolutely bent over in the Euros, and then came back and went, well, we did agree a contract.
Yeah, but why are they agreeing contracts? Why don't you just sign them? Or do them at the right time? Like, it was a ridiculous time to do it when we drew to Georgia and they go, oh yeah, we offered him a new contract. I was like, well, let's see how we're getting on. I think the whole thing's a fucking mess. Look, if he's staying, I think maybe it was time just to move on. I'm not saying that he didn't do a good job. He did fine. We haven't got great players, but I just think the manner that we lost, I just think maybe that a change might help, I think.
A change might do you good.
Maybe in mentality. I think in everything in the thing. And look, if he's saying, look, I'm 100% behind him. Like, I don't hate him. I just think it's time for a change. But
you're 100% behind him, did you say?
Well, if he's in charge, I'm behind him. Like, I'm not going to not be. I just think...
That's interesting. Because he did say he was a disgrace.
Yeah, well, I'd rather not have him as manager, but like, I'm not going to not be behind.
I'm behind 100%.
Because you have not been behind certain Leeds managers, and I'm wondering why you're giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Because he didn't do a terrible job.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could have done a better job.
I don't think so.
Go ahead. Why not, John?
I just think that he's got certain results that Ireland haven't got in 20 years.
That's true. Great moments, three amazing moments.
The worst Ireland squad of my lifetime, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Its best striker went a year without scoring a goal or something mad like that with Shane Long.
It's true.
I just think no manager could have done better. Like, granted, we probably had the worst top seeds in our group, but we had 4 teams probably around our level, still managed to finish second, and we're 90 minutes away from beating them. But Denmark got a few goals. He probably made the wrong subs at half time, but the same way he needed to score 2 goals. He brought on players he thought he could do it. I really don't think another manager could do better that we could possibly get. Stoke are a Premier League club who are probably playing more than the FAI are. Like, I heard that their owners are the 3rd richest in the Premier League, Best 365.
What?
Yeah.
Stokes?
Yeah, they're very rich guys.
But they just don't want to put money into Stoke, is what you're saying.
They probably don't, but I'm just saying that job probably paid more than the Ireland job. I know, like, the Ireland job's a bit money, and he still didn't want to go there. So they had to get Paul Lambert. Like, who are Ireland possibly going to get? Like, give it to Keane till end of season.
I know, but like
they would.
I just don't like the way O'Neill, first of all, was allowed to go. Like, did you hear the ridiculous interview? Of course, it was an FAI-owned interview as well, so there was no hard questions, there was no nothing. It was like, so Martin, are you signing the new deal? Yeah, my lawyers are flying in now on Monday and we'll get it sorted. And then that was that. And then they turned to John Delaney and go, oh yeah, so is he signing a contract? Yeah, everything will be coming in on Monday. And then that was it. It was a fucking farce. I just think that, like, he shouldn't have been allowed to get as far as it did.
Yeah.
Like, say,
well, it might be like players in the sense that when their contract's almost up, they can talk and look elsewhere.
Players are different. This is your manager. Like, you can't.
If he's almost out of contract, he surely
but why would
is in within his rights, isn't he?
But if he had said, look, I need to really think about this, and I really want to just literally have
he did
a few months. But why did he say he was going to stay? Why did the FAI say he's going to stay? You don't say that, and then he ends up in Stoke talks with Stoke. I think it was done so terribly, and how the FAI are allowed.
He was just listening to his options,
personally, if I was the FAI, and they even said, oh, he's allowed to talk to other clubs in the contract agreement we have. What kind of a fucking agreement is that? when your manager can just walk out any time.
Well, I presume it's towards the end of his contract, as I was saying.
Well,
Like-
and
like
they also
almost
said
other
a bullshit
contracts.
thing. Oh, we're always going to be due compensation. No, you're not. He's out of contract.
Yeah.
The whole thing is complete nonsense.
What kind
Personally-
of compensation were they talking about?
They were just saying about that he's going to stay now, whatever. But
Yeah.
like, look, I'm behind him because he's the Irish manager. I'll be behind any Irish manager. I was behind Steve Staunton, who was a sham. Personally,
He's
I
a
think,
gaffer.
Well, he's both.
personally, I think I would let O'Neill go, especially the way it went on.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't upset the morale in the squad. I hope it doesn't upset anything like that, and I hope everyone can still get behind it.
I'm
because
sure it won't. They'll also be
I
afraid
just
of
hope
Keane.
that everyone's still behind O'Neill and the team, because we've no other option. We have to get behind him. You know what I mean? It's another 2 years of this at least.
Paul Lambert
So
was...
that's why I'm saying get behind him. But personally, if he wants to talk to other clubs, how committed is he really?
We
So
have the
that's-
Justice League of Nations coming up as well. Isn't
I
there, after that
don't
coming up?
understand what this is.
It's
Oh,
a,
yeah.
it's
I
a
only found out
competition
about it
that
2
can
weeks
help
ago.
us qualify for the Euros.
But it's
Yeah,
half.
that's right.
It's half of the qualifying competition in this. They take
With,
results
within
from
it, yes.
I don't understand that at all. But
It makes sense.
what do you think of my feelings on O'Neill? Would you agree with that? That I'm behind him because he's the manager at the end of the day.
No, I
But
think
it
that's a
shouldn't
weird
have- it's
mentality.
It's gone ridiculous.
I
the
think
way
that's
it's done.
really odd because I know you haven't done that for your club, so I don't know why
I
you're
have.
switching. Oh no, there's been plenty of times there's been managers and you're
Who?
not behind them because you're like they're shy.
Neil
Warnock.
I was behind Warnock, give him a go, and then it turned into he nearly got us relegated. But,
But this is the point. This is the point. You've gotten to a stage where you're not 100% behind managers all the time. It's not a hard and fast rule. I'm just wondering why Martin O'Neill gets the benefit of the doubt with you.
because we're stuck with him.
But
Like,
you
what
did
am I-
just
which one-
spend
what-
5 minutes talking about how terrible he is for
I
what
didn't-
he's just
I
done.
didn't say he was terrible. I said what I said was.
Well,
the intro is at least 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I said what I actually said was that he probably could have done a better job. He didn't do a terrible job.
You did say it was a disgrace.
I said the way it's been acted has
I'll
been a
rewind the
disgrace.
tape.
You can rewind
Um,
the tape when you like. I said the way it's been done is a disgrace.
Okay.
Not him.
Paul
So,
Lambert.
you know, everything is a fucking
Paul Lambert
sham.
was was originally announced as taking a short-term deal, and then on the official Stoke Twitter, they were like, "Oh no, it's actually a 2-year deal," and that's all we're going to talk about him.
I like how the Stoke statement were like, and what a player he was to reject club deals here and go over to Germany, Dortmund and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like,
they were saying
nothing
he's-
about his managerial career.
Yeah, of course.
But it's got as well like
He did
Kike Sanchez
his-
Flores said no to it 24 hours before Martin O'Neill.
Well, there's
Like,
something going on
What's
there.
going on there? Like, because I'm convinced O'Neill
It's
would
a
have
lo-
taken that.
It's a low wage, clearly. Cyril Regis, who's one of
Weird.
the black pioneers, black football player pioneers. At one stage, he was one of 2 black players in the entire division. Died recently. He was a journeyman, I suppose they would say.
Well, he was a good centre forward. I think John Giles actually brought him to West Brom. I think.
He was a West Brom player. And remind me, John, I heard this on the Football Weekly podcast. There was supposedly who had to resign because he wouldn't replace Mark Van Basten. They wanted to get him in. Who would it have been? If Van Basten was at Milan, was it?
What's this?
There was a certain high-profile manager whose name escapes at the moment to actually resign because they wouldn't sign Regis to replace Van Basten at that certain club, and the club went to shite after the manager left.
Milan?
I think Van Basten, right? So
Enrico Sacchi?
maybe.
No.
I thought you might remember that. But anyway, yeah, so obviously a pioneer and very young, right? How old was
He's
he?
58 or 9 or something. Yeah,
Okay.
he's very young. But yeah, no, it's a big thing though, because he did like kind of one of the first players to get through that whole barrier
Yep.
of all the racism. Like, I know John Barnes was kind of an after.
Yep.
He wasn't the first English player who was black. He was the first. I think he was the first English player, but I don't know if he was the first black player. That was Albert Johansson, who actually played for Leeds in the late 60s.
Yeah.
But I think he was one of the first kind of big, like, main names to kind of just plough through it
Yep.
and kind of show a new,
Yep.
light in the tunnel sort of thing.
To defy
yeah,
all the
absolutely,
odds.
yeah. So
And which is great because, at least it doesn't happen anymore. Oh, wait. Okay, so this is the Sanchez Mkhitaryan stuff that we need to talk about. The majority of places were basically reporting that it's only going to go through, as in Sanchez is only going to go... Well, we should actually mention that City bowed out of the race. Then there was a couple of days of Chelsea being in the race. That was very quickly put to bed by Conte, which you have to take with a grain of salt, considering that last week he admitted he had nothing to do with it. But the Chelsea rumours have subsided, so it was just
Kim
left with-
Ballaghay put Liverpool in the race for a good
Yeah.
25
Yeah,
minutes.
see, this is the... do you know what? When I read
did he
that...
actually say Liverpool?
I read a couple of things that Guillaume Ballaghay said, and I
saw
cannot believe you paid money to see that man. He is such a fucking crook. He's
I-
unbelievable.
I saw him on YouTube, and he says that there's another team, but he didn't mention Liverpool. Now, He was kind of hinting Liverpool, but he didn't say Liverpool. Where did he say
he did
Liverpool?
at one
He said
stage say
Liverpool.
it was on Sky, right?
I think it was on
It
Sky.
was on Sky.
Well, maybe Liverpool.
I heard a great joke about this. It's strange that United, who are known for parking the bus, are buying Alexis. I think that's
Get
very
out,
good.
get out. Okay, let me run through this and then you guys can give your thoughts. So
Alexis
now we're
is
down
sports
to one team. So it's United now. The majority of places were reporting over the last 3 days that it was 500 grand per week that was agreed. The fee is all over the shop. It could range between 45 and 35 basically. But in order to sanction the deal, as in to not have to actually spend that much money up front, Arsenal will have to take Mkhitaryan. And then,
so they're saying it's
they'd
a
be
direct
taking,
swap.
It's not. No.
They asked for Martial.
They asked for Martial, that's
Yeah.
correct. But Mkhitaryan, obviously, they want to offload. He's only been there for fucking 18 months, but anyway. So that would be Mkhitaryan and 10 million is what was said. Loads of people coming out saying Mkhitaryan is going to be like would never be able to get back to United because United fans are going to look at him as a scapegoat if he stays and say, "Oh, we could have Sanchez, but we're stuck with you." And it's a real sticky situation.
I think
His
Arsenal
agent,
will be doing well out of that.
his agent, we'll get to that in one sec, but just to fill everybody in on where we're at the moment, his agent said that it is completely dependent on Mkhitaryan agreeing to go to Arsenal. The Guardian yesterday reported, however, that he believes Woodward will fork up the money even if the swap deal doesn't go through. And that's pretty much where we're at. So, yeah, to your point, Dan, like, in theory, Mkhitaryan, we'll get to Aubameyang in a while because their partnership was great. But in theory, Mkhitaryan from 18 months ago, signing for Arsenal, just seems like a match made in heaven. Mkhitaryan in January 2018, I'm not too sure.
It wasn't so long ago that he was like 30 assists in the Bundesliga or something. Remember,
No, yeah, but it is the Bundesliga.
Well,
I
he's
just
still,
like
he's still a
that.
good player, like, you know, like but like at the start of the season until I don't know,
First
Man
four
United
games only.
just first 4, 5, 6 games. Now I know they're against shut position, but Mkhitaryan did look very good,
And
and
he
it was
dropped
like
off.
he does look kind of good, and then he was dropped
Probably because
off
it's so cold here.
or whatever. But I don't know. It's I think it's Arsenal just need to get rid of this whole thing and just put it to bed because if you look at the way this has been rumbling on literally for a good year and a half now.
Yeah,
And it's like just like look, to be honest, it should have been done over the summer. Like Wenger and the board, whoever's in charge, has completely messed it up. They should just get rid of him in the thing. And now what's
Messed up
going to happen
everything.
though is right, which would be, you know, I think what Arsenal could end up doing is Sanchez goes now for swap Mkhitaryan, for example.
Yeah.
Ozil goes in the summer for free, and then they'll go, right, we got Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan to replace them, but they need to be adding to
So
them.
Aubameyang thing looks like it's losing legs pretty fast as well.
I think the issue is at Dortmund.
Well-
Aubameyang, I think, wants to go to them.
Aubameyang
Like
wants to
there's
go to Madrid.
a lot of places have reported that he has.
Dortmund won
signed-
rid of
he's
Aubameyang
agreed.
because he's a bad egg. And
Incorrect.
Aubameyang wants out of Dortmund.
Incorrect. Aubameyang wants out. So what happened was the manager came out. This was incredible. He came out after the weekend because Aubameyang was dropped again for basically not coming to a meeting.
He's late.
He's been perpetually late several times this season and been punished. This time it was a meeting. Now it was a Dortmund-wide meeting. It was staff. It was the fucking from the groundskeeper to Aubameyang. It was everybody. It was this big thing, and he didn't show up. Right, so he was dropped, and then the rumors really started to fly because obviously, like, he was dropped. He'd ring his agent to go, lads, we still have 20 days. What's the crack? You know. The manager came out on Tuesday then and was like, look, we have to discipline him, but I'm a very fair man. He could be playing this weekend. Basically realising that when it came to the crunch, looking at the Dortmund team and look at how they're not doing brilliantly this year, he does want to hang on to him. Now, obviously, Aubameyang wants out. Where he wants is he would take a big cheap-ass move to Middle East or China. He definitely, if he could pick a team, wants to go to Madrid. He's made that very obvious. The manager again came out today and said that it's very disrespectful for Wenger to be throwing around Aubameyang's name. Now, it's not Wenger's fault. He's being asked at every turn what's going on. I would just like to get your opinion on this, guys. Of the three guys associated with this whole Arsenal debacle, I want your chances of what goes through. My order would be Alexis to go, Mick to come in, and Aubameyang to come in. I think there's very little chance of the last two, but that would be my order of likelihood.
I'd say the first two will definitely happen. I think Mkhitaryan holds it. Like if Mkhitaryan just realizes he's not going to get a game, Jose doesn't want him.
One thing we didn't
like-
talk about is, has Sanchez made the right choice? Because I think he definitely has.
Well, no, he hasn't.
He's going to be a starter.
No, well, he should have. Like apparently, with City, he
Made the
he
decision
wanted
I
with
would have
City
made.
that he wanted to be paid more than De Bruyne, and Pep wasn't having that. because, well, I can understand because Pep doesn't want to upset anything in the dressing room. They're obviously
just to clarify, he didn't say that. He said how much he wanted because he knew how much was on him from United. And Pep said, Pep's like Klopp in the sense that unless they show they want to play for you, you don't get a gig, right?
Well, yeah, it's right.
So, but what, like, just to clarify that he didn't actually say, I want more than Kevin De Bruyne, but it would have been a case where he would have been on more.
So I think if City had,
he's a starter though, Dan. That's the thing.
He'd start for City.
Absolutely not.
Ahead of Sané, he would.
Okay, look at Sané's record this year and his development, and look at Alexis' record this year.
Sanchez is a better player now. Neil.
I think that would be crazy to drop Sané from that team right now.
If I can answer your question from earlier, I think Mkhitaryan will happen and Sanchez will happen. I think a Jack Wilshere deal will be announced.
The contract?
Yeah.
Now, so you don't think Aubameyang is...
No, I think he'll go to China. And also, I think that was dependent on them getting Batshuayi
and Giroud. As well as
I don't think a lot of trade deals are talking here. That doesn't look like it's going to happen.
And do they ever happen? Now, listen. What about your opinion on has Alexis made the right move? If he does actually move,
it's a lot of money.
Has he picked the right United or the right Manchester club?
I don't really.
It's definitely his last big contract.
I always feel for certain players that once they've played for, like the big Real Madrid or Barcelona, after that they don't really care.
Can I tell you why I think there's a smack of desperation here from Wenger? Now, obviously, they are in desperate times, but Wenger's a very proud man in the way he sets up his team, that he doesn't really adjust his team for others, the way he's spent and stuff like that, especially when it comes to like already established names. He has the Arsenal way. The reason you love them for so long, Dan, right? But this smacks of desperation. You look at Aubameyang's goal record. 2016, he scored the third most goals in world football. 2017, he scored the, I think was 9th or 8th most goals in world football, right? Yeah, he's 29, right? No big team is sniffing around him. Everybody knows that if they bid for him, they'll get him right now. The only person out from is Wenger. So, does it not say a lot that a player who clearly has something else going on, clearly has a reputation, even though he's an amazing player, that Wenger's actually going to go for somebody who has a reputation?
Sure, Sanchez has...
Never the same though, Dan.
No.
Like when Sanchez left Barcelona, I'm sure there's plenty of people in for him.
I know. Like there's players at every club though. Like you have to kind of manage it. Like I don't know. Like personally, I think Arsenal are not much of a mess.
That's my point.
I think if they signed Aubameyang, what's the worst that'll happen? Except he scored 21 goals in 23 games a season.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So he's exactly nearly at a goal a game. He'll do the same in the Premier League, even if he he could cause chaos, whatever, but there's already chaos in that dressing room. There's already chaos in that club.
It says a lot that he's willing to bring in a potential other bad egg to an already spoiled broth.
Well,
you don't put eggs in broth, I know.
No.
Thank you.
But
what?
Who?
I think though.
What?
I don't think it's a bad buy for them because they're that shit.
In theory,
and that much of a mess. Like the worst that's going to happen, you'll score some goals and they'll offload them to China. Like if they have to, but
I like how Arsenal headhunted Dortmund's head scout, the man who bought like Lewandowski. Well, apparently bought like Lewandowski and Kagawa for like piss cheap from around Europe, and he just goes back and goes, "My Dortmund signings were good. Let's just go get Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang."
Well,
yeah.
Well, I think that's a good sign though.
Klopp always gets credit for those as well.
I don't do it.
Who should get the credit? I don't know. Maybe it's a combination.
Well, gets the credit.
He's the guy who found Aubameyang and all them anyway. So
one last thing about Arsenal is the Malcolm link. We talked about him last week. That's really died down as well. There's 3 big players set to go to Arsenal in January, which really means that most likely none will, I think.
But again, Arsenal are sitting on a lot of money there. Like we've got to the minute, like this whole Walcott now for 20 million.
Get it to it now. That's fine.
Coquelin has gone for 15 or something.
20 million is not a lot of money.
They're sitting on the 40 million from Oxlade-Chamberlain, which haven't.
Is Walcott 30?
He's younger than us.
Still? Get out of my life.
Well, yeah, if we were older than him and he's 16, worse.
I'm 30. How old is he? 28?
He's 28.
Did you hear where Big Sam is going to play him? He's very excited about this.
Up front?
On the right. Yeah. I said this to
Aaron
you guys
on the left.
Would you remember this?
Pro 10.
People Lassie on the left.
Literally, no, but there is potential that before this year is over, Everton might start Lennon on one wing and Walk on the other.
You're very excited. World Cup 2010.
Yeah.
You wanted Gerard Lampard in those
No,
two.
no, whatever like that. But literally 10 years ago, 10 years ago, that was like, I know Wright Phillips had a little bit of a shout, but and even fucking Joe Cole, but 10 years ago, that was like the new great fast hope, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And here it could be at Everton.
Was it?
Also, what did Walcott say? Why did he sign? This is amazing. Why did he
To win
sign?
trophies.
To win trophies.
I don't
Brilliant.
think he said that.
He fucking did.
I don't think. Why would you leave a team that are like the current FA Cup champions to win trophies? It doesn't make any sense.
That's why it's so
He was
funny.
forced out. I think he looks at his friend Ox and goes, "He's playing well under a different manager."
We'll get to
Maybe
that.
It's not my fault.
We'll get to that. Okay. So, is there anything else to say about Theo Walcott and Everton in reality?
Looks good in blue.
Not bad at all.
I think it's actually a good move for
Said it
him.
about Andy Carroll.
I think it's a good move for him,
Okay.
and it's a good move for everyone because he's one of those players. Is like he can do something for you, but he's just in a bad place there. Arsenal are in a bad place. It's not going to work for anyone. 20 million. It's actually not a bad buy, really.
Speaking of people in blue, Andy Carroll. Obviously, we talked about this last week because it will get maybe not the Wacky Transfer of the Week award, which we haven't had a chance to do so far this term, but maybe the Wacky Transfer of All Time
When was
award.
the last time he did it?
Probably in the last January window. But the Wacky Transfer of the... Oh, no, it would have been in the summer. Anyway.
Was it?
But the Wacky Transfer of all times, in my opinion, would be this.
Well,
I think it just makes no sense.
what happened, I think, what made a bit of sense of this transfer to me was Chelsea's squad for the Premier League is actually less than what it should be because they don't have any English players.
That's not allowed, right?
Well, they can have less than... Like, they can't have a full squad and not have a certain number of English players.
Wow.
But you can have less than your...
Yeah.
20, whatever.
The places that the English players should take up to complete the
So
squad.
I think they who is the best English player that's not playing for a big team, and it's probably Andy Carroll in his day. Although people are slating him. Craig Bellamy, former teammate, was like, "Yeah, he'll never be world class. He's too lazy. He doesn't give a shit."
He's also perpetually injured. He's out for a month now, as of today was announced.
I just like whatever Chelsea's transfer tactics is, like Drinkwater, Barkley, Andy Carroll. Like it's definitely someone who voted out of Brexit. Like,
Yeah. Okay, we'll go back to that in a sec. Mike Ashley is very upset because this Newcastle takeover that's been in the pipeline for what, a year and a half or
About a
something?
year anyway.
It's falling apart.
It's not looking good for Newcastle. Like they are not going to survive. Like
loves to vomit into a fireplace.
what?
That's hearsay.
No, it's not. He did an interview where he says he does a lot of his business deals in the pub.
He does them all in the casinos, yeah, in pubs.
Yeah, and then he's
The
known
casinos he owns, of
he's
course.
known into vomit into a fireplace.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But he
Anyway.
it's if Rafa leaves, which is a possibility now, if he doesn't get anything,
Yeah.
I think they are literally probably certainly for relegation now. Newcastle.
Okay, Aubameyang has just been dropped again for this weekend. Just to let you know.
I think Aubameyang will end up leaving.
I think
This has come so close so many times, though. Maybe not more than this. Maybe you're right. Okay, Grucic, we need to talk about, has been sent to League One.
Championship.
He's going to send the championship.
Sorry,
top of the
Championship. I can still consider the Championship League One. That's no offense to anybody in the
That's
Championship.
Division 1.
I know it is. I just, Coca-Cola League. What do you think of that? Where's he gone?
Cardiff.
That's right. Sorry.
I don't know. He's tall. Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock. Yeah. Okay. John wants to talk about this.
Did I?
Do you want to send not Grucic to Neil Warnock's house, but do you want to save this for your hero? Do you want to do a little soliloquy about Ronaldinho?
Just one of the greatest footballers of our lifetime.
Can I ask you a question about Ronaldinho before we talk about how great he was?
Yeah.
Did he have the longest hair for any male in football over the last 15 years?
Puyol.
No, no. Longer. It was longer.
There was a bloke who played for Man City who played on the left wing, and I just remember him having long hair.
Robinho.
No, I just remember having long hair because Steve Finnan gave away a foul by pulling on it.
Kiki Musampa.
Sampa had
There
really
you
long
go.
hair.
Okay, guys, I'm not going to bother Googling him right now, but like Ronaldinho...
It's very long. It's longer than Reggie Blinker's hair, and he had long hair, and you don't know who he is as well.
Ronaldinho's was past his shoulder blades when it was fully down.
Oh, Kiki Musampa's down to his arse.
Yeah, it was really.
It was longer than your hair. It was like your hair. Like,
All right,
it
okay.
was all braided and everything. And
Well, Ronaldinho did stuff with a football that I'd never seen anyone do before. Like
Or
what's
since
your favourite moment? I've got one moment that just
when you put David Seaman in the ground.
the Chelsea goal.
Oh, God.
Mine. Well, there's three great ones, like Seaman lob.
Yeah.
The Chelsea toe poke from 25 yards. My one was when he was the first ever Barcelona player to get a round of applause at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, it was.
When he ran past everyone twice and they won 3-0 and everyone stood up and applauded.
I
Like
also
Madrid
like.
fans.
I also like that Nike ad where he does keep you ups and then whacks it against the crossbar like 10 times, and like the talk in the schoolyard was it real or not? It was not.
No, it was a thing for television.
What's else football?
Do you know, here's a Ronaldinho moment that nobody probably remembers, but like it made me very happy because everyone had written him off at that stage, and he had given up. But when United played Milan, do you remember that year in the Champions League, and he still caused so much trouble down the wing.
Is that when they had Pirlo, Beckham, Gattuso, and Ronaldinho?
You and me watched that like in a pub, and I got so excited about David Beckham going on.
I think and Zaghi or something was up front, and like Costa Curta was in defence.
Who would he have been running at?
Gary Neville or Raphael probably.
I think it was Raphael, and he made a fool of him so many times. I was like, maybe this
I
guy's
think
not
you could
right.
always do that. I just think that like a lot of Brazilians, once they
I'll have
do
to
everything,
find his
they
team.
get a lot into the party. Like him, Ronaldo are big, sort of like Adriano, but Adriano sort of did it before he won anything.
Yeah.
But like they're big party lads. And,
Let's talk about Spain for a minute. So like here's the great statistic of the Barcelona victory. Obviously not the statistic that they haven't won there since how long?
2007.
2007, okay? But you know that goal broke Eto'o's record. And it was literally a carbon copy of Eto'o's most famous goal.
Which goal? What record?
What are you talking about?
His goal record for Barcelona.
Who? Messi's?
Eto'o.
But
Suarez broke his goal record
sorry.
literally scoring his most famous goal.
That was
Eto'o's
a
most
cross.
famous goal. It was not a cross.
Roberto hurt almost doing a Phil Babb.
Yeah. It was goal of the week, surely, right?
Messi's free kick a few minutes later was a bit outrageous.
Well, we can talk about goal. Of
They
the
were
week.
both there. Yeah, well, we'll
I
get there.
think goal of the week happened in
But
9
anyway.
minutes against City, and you can pick whichever one you want.
My hero of the week is because of cursing on television. But somebody else who cursed on television and didn't get as much play because it wasn't in a comedic sense was Zidane, where he said the club is fucked. As a translation,
They lost again.
They lost
A lot of
again.
cursing on
Well,
TV,
like it's the first
Flop
time.
as well.
First time now, I think, in like I don't know if it can't be ever, but like 4 games at home they haven't scored a goal.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
unbelievable.
alarming. Like Paulinho scored double the amount of Bale and Ronaldo this year.
Saw a great article written about it, and they're
what's going on,
basically
like?
saying that like there's managers in the A tier, and then there's every other manager, and there's been very few managers in the A tier, but like because of it's Zidane, and obviously he had an amazing first 2 years, he's just there, and if it was anybody else, they'd been long gone. Like the club have this really weird thing about managers, you know, like Rafa was never supposed to be there for long, and everyone was like almost just waiting for it to happen, and he had to go.
You see, the whole thing is,
But this
everything,
thing-
everything hinges on that
PSG game,
match.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, and
I can't wait for that.
like again, like you know, like, they've clearly given up in the league. Like Valencia and Atletico Madrid are, like they won't catch Barca, but they are actually the more likely.
John, did you say that Madrid are closer to the bottom than they are
Yeah,
to
they
the
are.
top?
Yeah, they're close to the relegation.
Deportivo are 18th, and they're closer to them. So I've never seen anything like it.
Nainggolan is joining his fellow centre midfield international partner Alex Witsel over in not in the same club now, but going over to China for big money. This is really upsetting to me. Dan knows I have a hard on for Witsel, and I have an incredible raging Nainggolan for Nainggolan, and I just think him going for Come on, Alexis. I just think him going over there for 50, it's terribly sad.
But do Roma, like, they've no money?
I know, Dan. I know.
No, is that why? Is that, or, like,
sorry,
they've
yes.
nothing, like.
Yeah. Listen, this guy could play in any team in
But they're
Europe.
not going to sell, like, El Sharawi or something like that.
Wait, hang on. How
Their
do they
forward,
no money? They
their,
keep
their
selling all
forward
their
options
players.
are very, very, very low. Well, they sold Salah, okay?
Yeah, but didn't they sell a load of players to Monaco as well?
Not a load, no.
They sold 2-1 for a lot of money.
Manolas is still there, isn't he?
No, I don't think so.
And they want to
I could be
keep their
confusing
goalkeeper that Liverpool wanted.
They sold Rudiger.
Yeah, they sold Rudiger.
Oh, no, I think they've been
They sold
let
Lucas
go anyway,
Digne 2 years ago.
Lucas Digne is gone. Xhaka's up front, isn't he?
Xhaka's still up front.
So they topped their group.
Pereira.
They beat Chelsea and Atletico Madrid in their group. Like, they still have...
They still do have a lot of players.
They
Like,
still have Perotti.
if their midfield
Emerson.
was, Perotti and El Shahari as well, and if they had a fully fit midfield, their fully fit midfield is Nainggolan, Strootman and De Rossi, which is really good. But none of those three are ever fit at the same time. I think it's crazy selling him. He's by far their best midfield player, and I'm just sad that he's not going to a big club, because like when you've got a signature tackle in modern day football, that's very special. And
Signature tackle.
have you never seen the Nainggolan tackle? Nainggolan is able to
You're
do,
talking about erections again.
not this time. He's able to do a tackle where basically
running tackle.
he can come from behind. And
Neil, no.
he wraps
It's a family
his,
show.
He wraps his
Okay.
he wraps his leg around.
It's a family show. Eamon.
he wraps his. It'll never happen again. Moving on. You've got VAR debate, Dan.
Do you
debacle.
Just see what happened.
Oh, dozy.
I'm leading you in. I'm the host.
Yeah, talk about
Come on, yeah.
Yeah, Norwich and Chelsea.
Yep.
Segways are hard.
Did you see it, John?
No, I watched no. I pick up this
Did you not hear about it?
I heard about it.
Essentially, Morata was in a challenge in the penalty box.
Yeah.
And they went to VAR and he was fouled. And then the video referee said, no, it's not a foul.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, that's a penalty.
And he got sent off.
And then he dived later.
Yeah.
Got booked. And then argued the ref got sent off. Then Pedro dived. And then he got sent off. It was just a crazy end to the match.
Yeah.
Chelsea won on penalties. But like,
5-3.
it's the whole VAR
Willy.
thing. The VAR thing now is really...
Willy saved the day.
He's brilliant from penalties, though.
Chelsea's goalkeeper, Willy.
Caballero.
The Argentinian. John, what are you looking at me like
John's
that for?
not saying anything.
Just because I want to talk about Willy.
Yeah, fair.
There's a lot of Willies today. It's the VAR thing is not working.
No,
There's
Dan.
three
Dan,
games
Dan,
in.
I'm not having it. The viewer.
There's 3 games in, and it's already caused chaos.
Okay, Dan. This was not the fault of video replay. This was the fault of an absolute moron ref. The whole idea of video replay is to kind of cancel out moron refs.
But like
He got the decision. Here's the thing,
Why
Dan.
is-
He would have got the decision wrong either way. Yeah? So the theory of having video replay for decisions that people get wrong but then change their mind on is good. This guy just didn't fucking know how to do it. He would have got it wrong anyway.
everybody got it wrong anyway.
Because he wasn't going to give it either way. And it was a penalty.
Yeah, but what's the point of going to a guy to find out? Because that's why it should be official 100%.
It's his fault, not the video technology fault.
But clearly then there's an issue with who they're employing. Like, these guys are referees.
Yes, exactly.
These guys are referees. Like,
He's the
what's
issue.
going on?
Before Chelsea scored their goal yesterday, there was a great stat. They'd gone 6 games without scoring, and in that time, Diego Costa had made his debut for Atletico Madrid, scored again, got sent off, got sent off, done his suspension, come back and scored.
That's
He's
incredible.
banging them in for Atletico. He's handy because he's in a few cup games to get into it. So.
See, All Black is linked with Liverpool, and I'm like, why would he go to Liverpool? He's doing
Oh my god, it's so weird.
But why not? Like,
Just for sorry?
why not?
because he's playing for Atletico.
Yeah, you know.
They're second in the Spanish league. And
Yeah. I think it's a weird one, Dan.
Joint second in the Premier League.
Oh yeah.
So and you're in the Champions League, and you've got loads of money,
You see,
and you've got a team. Maybe in the next 2 years, that could do something.
We think of Liverpool
I
as a
don't-
very, very medium club.
Well,
top seven.
Best.
well. Okay, look, we'll talk about it again.
It's just a
You're
case
doing
now-
very well. With
it's just a
Klopp.
case where
You're doing
he's,
very well with transfers.
he's very
Trust
much
Klopp.
yeah, no, I agree. But he's one of the best younger keepers in the world, and
Well,
that's why it's weird.
He's up there with
We don't
Neuer
have
and
good
De Gea
keepers.
and all
Yeah.
them. Like,
And the weird thing is, like, you guys will, well, sorry, you won't, but John will know this from the last 3 years of Pro Evo Master League, is like, when you're looking to replace Mignolet, top of the list the last 3 years is always All Black. And you feel really bad signing him because you think it could never happen in real life. So that's why it's just weird to see it. Kind of like with Liverpool being linked to Ham yesterday. They've made an
I refuse
official...
to leave it. though.
Did you not read the things I told you to read, where it's actually the Echo? You know the way the
would
Echo...
you
don't-
want him there?
No.
Well, Dan,
I
you can tell me a lot more about his...
Well, personally, like we're
sketchy
talking
form.
about Aubameyang and being a bad egg. This guy, I think, is just as lazy as fuck. I don't think he gives a shit.
Exactly, and I think.
I don't.
but then again, our midfield is so bad that I'm like.
He'd
I
be a
think-
great
but he
number 10,
wouldn't-
wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? In theory?
In theory, but like he doesn't move. He doesn't run. Like he was shipped out of Madrid.
But he's been okay at Bayern.
Yeah,
He
Jesse
has
Lingard
had
is-
20 games, and he's got Muller out of the team.
No, Muller was out of the team before
He's
Ham got it.
playing okay. Like he's
No,
he's a very
no.
he's a good talent. But I personally,
He's
for
got
the money,
Muller.
you might
You
have to
love Muller, and he's got him out of the
I
team.
love the ogre. Yeah, very nice.
I think we should put embargo on jokes. All three of us are really hitting the
doing
wall
fine.
tonight.
I haven't even-
You shut.
I haven't
you're
talked
not.
yet.
Do you want to say something there, pal? Oh, into the mic. You could even say no into the mic. He's so ambivalent. It's like I'm expecting a notice to land on the couch any second. Is that all the news? Oh no, Ryan Giggs. Yep, Giggsy to Wales. So obviously the amazing funny joke is that he played. What's the stat, John? He played one game.
One friendly.
No, it was one international game over 9 years, and it was in England. Isn't
No,
that
it was
the
a friendly.
stat?
Yeah, it was a friendly game.
Yeah, one friendly
One friendly.
international. One friendly international
Yeah.
in 9 years. It was in England.
He's
The joke was he does know he has to show up for the friendly.
Yeah. It's like
he's how they can appoint this man. Like,
It's a definition of white privilege.
he's such.
No, it's not. Not that I'm defending the idea that white privilege isn't a thing, but like, no, it's
Well,
not.
No, Danny DeVito having Hollywood career is white privilege.
Well,
What does that have to do with anything? And no, it's not. You don't think Danny DeVito's a talented actor?
No.
You don't think he was good as the Penguin?
he was great as in Matilda.
Do you watch? Yes, he was.
He directed Matilda.
Oh, fucking give him something then. Do you
he was
watch
the narrator.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
He's
but,
supposed to be amazing in that.
yeah, but they just had to write him in because you refused to leave the set.
That's not true.
It's true.
It's not
He's
true.
not that big. You could have just picked him up, like, you know.
heavy.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Ryan Giggs.
Ryan
Okay.
And white
Did you see that?
supremacists.
Did you see that video from his one and only team talk against Southampton on the final day of the 13-14
That's
season?
the best video I've seen.
Oh my god, I
But
have
like, he's no charisma, the man. He just stands there. It's like, so today, guys, it's the final day of the season.
I think.
We're against a team who tire a lot, so the subs, you can make all the difference. City or Liverpool are going to win the league, so let's give our fans something to shout about. Right. Okay. And that was it.
Is that really it?
Yeah.
I think he threw in something about sleeping with his brother's wife.
You salacious
But
whore.
the
Will
whole
you
thing
stop
is,
it?
right, he got that job because he's seen as a Welsh legend, right?
Dan,
He's had
this-
4
not even
games.
that, not even
He's
that.
had 4
It's not even
games
that.
manager.
It's
He
not
lost
even
1
that.
to Sunderland, drew that game against Southampton and beat Hull and Villa or something shit.
What is the
What,
Irish
like-
version of that? Like, if Martin O'Neill did take the Stoke job, what's the Irish Ryan Giggs version?
Well, Steve Staunton, we already had it.
No, because he did
No,
put
like
in a
Steve
great
Staunton
shift
did
for
put
the
in-
national.
Would it be Stephen Ireland?
It'd be Stephen
Stephen
Ireland.
Hunt?
It'd be Stephen Ireland. It's Stephen Ireland.
Stephen Ireland,
Aidan
probably.
McGee?
Do you see how great Stephen?
McGee's got 100 caps.
Stephen Ireland started for the first Premier League game since
He should have
2015 or
scored
something.
2.
Yeah, and for the first 7 minutes, he looked smashing. I'm like,
He
why
was
hasn't he
so
been
great.
playing? And then he got so
gassed.
tired.
He got so puffed.
It was like a really rainy night on Monday in Manchester, but you could still see how much Stephen Ireland was sweating.
You're 100% right. The thing with gigs, wasn't it that Football Weekly or somebody made the point? I've completely lost my train of thought. Sorry, I had it there.
What I would have done
Go
was
ahead.
if their rationale was put a Welsh legend in there, right, or they wanted a Welsh guy who cared about it, and he goes, "Oh, I'm really passionate about Wales." Like, you're clearly fucking not. First of all, like, and they've no experience. I would have honestly given it to Craig Bellamy. To be honest, at least
Craig Bellamy did go for
At
it.
least, actually,
did he?
to be fair, at least to Craig Bellamy, he actually cares. I went to all the friendlies and, put in a shift for them. Giggs doesn't give a crap.
Didn't Football Weekly say that the Times, like, it was like Swansea were happy to leak when Coach Bradley left, God bless us all, that the Swansea were actually happy to leak to the press how unbelievably bad Giggs' pitch was.
But
like,
Giggs,
it was an
Giggs,
in-joke.
Giggs just shows up to all these jobs. Like, the Swansea job he was like expecting to get.
Well,
He's a cretin of a person. He's in there with the John Terrys. He is in that.
well, yeah,
bracket,
okay,
in
but
my
like,
view.
look, enough about the fucking the stuff between the shades. Right, let's talk. Go on.
I don't like it's miserable and stuff, but you hear that stuff about Gary Speed and one of the reasons he might have killed himself and stuff.
Do we? Okay, go on.
Barry Bennell is in court now. He was a trainer, young footballing coach for years,
Yeah,
and he's up
yeah.
now for being a child molester.
And he was.
And
he's the guy who
apparently
was-
four players came out in court.
David
and
White
Gary
was
Speed
one.
was mentioned. 4 players that played it are no longer alive. And apparently, the story came out that after Gary Speed killed himself, there was no reason. No one knew. And one of the guys that was molested called Gary Speed's parents to be like, "This happened, so this might be a reason." Anyway, brings down the show, but I thought.
Well, it's worth saying, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in that case.
To be honest, I don't think we'll ever find out that reason.
Probably not. If the man didn't leave a note, we'll never find out. But
And
it's
Well, the thing is, well,
Could have
plausible.
got Mark Hughes back actually.
It's plausible. What?
Well, actually, that would have been.
Oh, sorry.
Good shout.
Speaking of silly managers going for silly things, Phil Neville wants to be the new England women's manager. Do you know that?
White
Yeah,
privilege.
wouldn't.
Please.
He has coaching experience though.
He's another
He was with United and Valencia and
I'd love to see
United again. I think.
Wales.
Salford or something. Or
If the
that's right
Wales
now.
men played the England women, would it be the worst pre-match managerial interviews of all time? If they were both to be.
Phil Neville is a fucking.
I think there's
Teeth
like a
as well.
testimonial of some sort, and Stoke have to play Wales. Paul Lambert and
We're not talking about Paul Lambert.
Talking
Real
We're not going to talk about
hates
Paul Lambert.
Paul
at all.
Lambert.
No. Chelsea and Leicester, before the FA Cup match that happened during the week that Dan was alluding to, this was the record of all records. It was 4 games outscoring in a row or something like that. And
Have you seen Morata as well? I saw a very alarming stat about him.
He shite.
The amount of minutes he's played, obviously, we learned that, I think, during Christmas, actually. He's played more minutes than he ever before. But his sprints and his running and everything has, I mean, it's like his sprints per game was like 40, 50 per game, at least 50, 60. It was a high amount. It's like down to 30 now. So he's gassed. So
But you know what the problem is, Dan? Everything on Hazard. That's the problem. Since Hazard got fit, Morata's dropped form because now the theory is pass it to Hazard and something will happen. They were playing as a team beforehand.
Yeah, well, I don't think Hazard will be there as well. I think he'll be at Madrid. I don't think he wants to be there as well, Hazard.
No, I think he likes it there a lot.
I think he'll be at Madrid next season. I think
Hazard and Aubameyang and Ronaldo would be nice, wouldn't it?
But
Jesus Christ.
Ronaldo's going to PSG.
Bale is the long term there, so.
Crystal Palace, let's run through these because I want to talk about next week more. So, or this weekend coming. Crystal Palace and Burnley. Who scored again?
It was Sacco. Bakary Sacco.
One of the 6 that they have.
West Ham and Huddersfield. I called this, by the way. Both you guys didn't. I said a West Ham victory. Lanzini with 2. Arnautovic, who is scoring in every game.
That match is so funny.
Noble opened the scoring.
Arnautovic just kept running and the ball just kept falling to Lanzini. I like how David Moyes' tactic is just to make Arnautovic Fellaini and just have a big battering ram in front.
I'll tell you, Arnautovic, like he was always talented and he was big and physique, but like he's got fit and he's working. Well, he's a match winner for them. He's the first match winner they've had really since Payet.
That's very true.
So like down there, you just gotta have something.
Finished this weekend. Actually.
Yeah,
injured a goalkeeper. That's how good it was.
Oh, he did it, yeah.
Payet's still.
I was going to ask actually, has anybody kept track of how he's doing?
Not really. I don't think he gives a shit.
2 things from the French league. There was that goal and PSG.
Well, we'll talk. Yeah. And we'll talk about the other thing.
The other thing in the PSG match.
We'll talk about the other thing.
That thing.
Why do they boo Neymar?
Because he didn't let Cavani take the penalty. Which
are they still on this 8 million?
Well, I think they let Neymar take the penalties, but Cavani would have become PSG's all-time goal scorer if he'd scored.
He'll get it.
I think he did.
Who is that? It's Latan's probably ahead of him then.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I watch a 10-minute highlight of the French league every Monday, and I never see. Yeah, and I never. It's great. I'll link it to you.
Have you seen any of Malcolm?
No, this is why I was asking about him last week. Anyway,
what about Tommy Lamar?
Yeah, Tommy Lamar.
He's very good.
Last year.
Would you know about Keita Balde of Monaco?
Of course, man.
He's very good.
He's filled in the gap for Bernardo Silva.
Yes, he looks very, very good.
Yeah, they got him from Lazio.
Right. Oh, he came from Lazio.
Yeah, there was one season I think him and oh god, what's the other Brazilian winger for Lazio? It's very fast.
Oh, Felipe Anderson.
Yeah, they were together last year and it was amazing. Anyway, so in this French clip I watch, I never see Payet at all. So I really like maybe they only focus on the top half of the table. Newcastle and Swansea, whatever.
1-1.
This match was like
Swansea are picking up a few points. It's still have enough fun, but I think those two are gone.
Unlucky. Hozzalou scored. It's his 4th goal. He's awful. Boney like had an open goal and somehow hit a defender with it.
That was hilarious. Just shoot, man.
When did Wilfred Boney last score a goal?
It was
Wilfred
for Swansea
Boney
against Stoke, and then before that it was for Stoke against Swansea.
Did he score a goal for Man City? I don't know if he did. Did he?
No, he did.
He did.
Did he get one or something?
But it wasn't in the league, right?
Okay. I don't think it was.
It wasn't in the league.
Yeah.
Southampton and Watford 2-2. Great.
This match needed VAR.
Referee for this. Decore's handball the last minute. Pellegrino, Southampton's manager, is I tell you, he hasn't a clue.
Did you see what Jamie Carragher said?
No.
He obviously played with Pellegrino at Liverpool, and what? Yeah, Pellegrino played centre back for Liverpool 2005.
2005.
Yeah, he's there for 6 months.
Okay, right. Well, that's okay.
But he goes, I knew after meeting Pellegrino that this man would never become a manager.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Southampton are now 10 games without a win. Yeah. They're one place above the relegation zones.
Well, I can't believe they haven't sacked him. He hasn't a clue. Like, even the whole Van Dijk thing, he dropped Davis, he dropped Forster, he dropped all the kind of leaders in the team he dropped to make a statement out of him. Like, I think Steve Davis is actually one of their better players. He's a good pro. He's a good attitude. Get him out there. Like, and then they were 2-0 up in so many games, and they're just sitting back. I know they've nothing up front, but it's like
I hope they don't get relegated because Liverpool scouting will be in a lot of trouble.
A lot of trouble. We started 5 Swansea players against City. 5 ex-Southampton players against City. West Brom and Brighton, Man City, Johnny Evans, even though that really doesn't look like it's
Brighton,
going to happen.
I think Brighton are a good team, but they cannot defend set pieces, and that's literally all West Brom can do.
This is the
West Brom's first win since August, so Pardiola's off the mark.
First win.
It could be Johnny Evans' last goal as well for them.
Yeah,
He's still
well,
linked
this
with
week gone very
City
quiet.
and Arsenal.
City mostly, although Arsenal are more desperate than City, that's for sure. Spurs were absolutely brilliant against
Did you
Everton.
see that Son goal? That was that was unreal. Like,
This
I remember
is-
the goal of the
the
week,
Son
but
assist.
that was the flick by Ali. But it was literally the whole team touched the ball.
Oh no, that was the Ericsson goal.
Oh, sorry, it was Ericsson. Sorry, yeah. They literally went the whole team, and it was like a Pro Evo goal where the whole defensive stretch. You just keep pressing through ball across the pitch.
You know, I think
And
that
it was unreal. It was unbelievable.
Well,
goal.
before Spurs were good, Everton are dreadful. They haven't had a shot on target this year. They BT. I know all commentators do this. Like there's the famous Martial one for Martin Tyler. But when a new player comes in, the commentators want to get behind. But your man Kenker, Tosin, everything he did was like just holding up the ball.
yeah.
It's like
I
you
couldn't
can't go
believe he
match-
threw him in there.
Yeah.
Like, what was he thinking? He should have played Calvert-Lewin up front.
I think
He's
there's
running behind him. Like,
I think there's kind of a general consensus over the last couple of weeks, especially when you look at like his stats compared to Coutinho and stuff like that, that the most underrated player in the league is Firmino. It's absolutely Son. Absolutely. Like if he could.
he's like a really good version of Ji-sung Park.
Jason Park was good.
Are you saying that just because they're Asian? Because if they weren't, it would be a really good analogy. But I'm kind of wondering if you've said it because they're both Asian.
Well, they both are Asian, but
I
like
know they are. He's
no, but he's the same work ethic.
He's a more skilled player than Dirk Kuyt.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's so good, and if he didn't
Yeah.
happen to be in the same team as the most prolific goal scorer in the league, I think that he's better than Ericsson. He's more valuable to that. He's the second name on the team sheet. Well, the defenders, but he's the second name on the team sheet attacking
Going
wise.
forward.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
for
he's
me.
doing well. Spurs.
But does he ever? He never seems to play badly.
No,
There's
well, that's it. He's a solid 8 out of 10 every week.
Bournemouth and Arsenal, amazing, absolutely amazing.
This match, like, I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it. Like, I had it on in the
You
background.
really didn't need to.
Yeah,
you could see what was going to happen
and
a mile away.
I think it was 0 all at half time, and I was like, oh, cool, Arsenal might drop points. And it was 1-0. I'm like, yeah, they beat Bournemouth. Bournemouth, they're not very good.
and that's when I stopped watching.
And then
I knew Bournemouth are going to score in this. It just
I went back up, and the goals were just dreadful.
The
Like Peter
game-
Cech mistake, and then Jordan Ives' first goal after moving. For
It seems that
15
your
million.
theory on Czech in 2018 is really true.
He's dreadful.
yeah, he's making a lot of mistakes. He's just very slow.
Yeah.
Like he's just
Like,
not
what was
getting
he
down
doing
to
going
things.
out,
slow.
like?
What I've only noticed now, since Wenger started his trips to the stands, is that Lehmann's still on. What's his role? Is it as simple as just goalkeeping coach? Because he wouldn't be sitting beside
I'm
Wenger if he didn't have more of a...
Not sure, but
there has to be something. He has to be higher up than just goalkeeping coach, right?
I don't know. Well, I think it's good for Arsenal that they have him in. I think they need to get some of that old kind of.
Do you think
Think
he'll teach Czech how to take a piss behind?
Sure. Well, if you get away and not get
I
booked.
don't think Czech would have the time
Yeah.
to go take it out, urinate, and then get back on the pitch.
Do you guys remember the time against
Not the way Arsenal hold it.
Liverpool where Lehmann was thrown the ball by a ball boy and he smacked it back over the advertising boards to try and waste time? The ball came at him at his post and he went, oh no. It's incredible.
Thing about that Arsenal game though, they were in complete control but playing absolutely terrible. And Bournemouth scored 2 goals, and Lacazette, who they spent 50 million on, was playing central midfield. He was playing midfield by the end of that game.
That is right.
I don't know what he was told to go there. I don't know if he goes, I haven't touched the ball all game. And people are going, oh, Lacazette's shit, he's not getting in. To be honest, he actually hasn't been given a fucking chance.
His service is
weeks.
terrible.
He's not been given anything.
Yes.
And he's one of those strikers who's like, if you don't give him a chance, he's not really going to do it. And he's not like a guy who'll come up, run past 5 players and knock in the back. He's not that guy. He comes alive when the ball's are in the box and he will score goals. When
he's missed a lot
if
of big
Ozil-
chances in big games.
he
that
has.
people watch, and that gets a lot of opinion. And then when your star, whatever, 50, 60 million, whatever they paid for him, if he's not doing anything against Bournemouth, who are one of the worst teams in the Premier League.
And when you're
It's a very
people
bad
within
season
the
for
club
Pierre.
as well are saying that he just can't hack the physicalness.
To be honest, I think he's actually realised I've made a fucking horrendous mistake. That the 2 best players I play with are leaving, and we've
Where's
nothing
Jack
else.
Wilshere going? lot of good Wilshere press. He's injured now
Wilshere, do you know
again.
what? In the Bournemouth game, Wilshere was really good.
Wilshere's playing well.
I think Wilshere's injured now. But he won't play again this season.
No, he's
but
fine.
He'll
He's
still be on
fine.
that plane.
He's fine.
Oh, I thought he got injured in this game.
No,
No, he
he's
got
fine.
injured before the Bournemouth
He
game.
got injured in the Chelsea game.
And then he just played.
He's fine. No, talking about Wilshere, I think he's actually lost a bit of weight. I think he's looking a lot fitter, but they should sign him up. But like,
listen, let's run through these. Do we need to say anything else about Stoke and United? The highlight being Stephen Ireland's poopiness.
Man United were lucky not to concede a couple of goals. Crouch caused them all sorts of problems.
If it wasn't for Marcus Alonso,
And,
Valencia would have the most stunning goals from a full-back this season.
Can
Can
I just say as well about Pogba? Everyone's saying he's got 10 assists now. You do realise 4 or 5 of them now have literally been passing it like literally 2 feet to the left.
His vision, though, for the Martial assist was awesome. And it was a great finish. They're completely accommodating Pogba. A lot of people who are writing comments for Man United are saying that Matic is now starting to look absolutely knackered at about the 60-minute mark of every game because he's...
Pogba slugs... If you look at a game, right...
But he's being told to do all of Pogba's
running. When Man United have the ball, right? Pogba is standing on the left wing for half of it.
I know.
He's a complete fraud.
No,
What's he doing out there?
Sanchez playing that team?
Sorry?
Will Sanchez go in for like Jesse Lingard or Martial?
I think he'll go for Martial in the Rashford spot.
Mata. He'll go in for Mata.
Does
Easy.
Mata start
Mata,
yes, he does.
Well, I'd say it'll be Lingard.
He says most starts since 2014.
Really? He had a contract this summer.
He's going in for Mata. Trust me, he's going in for Mata. Not a shadow of a doubt. Liverpool and Man, like I don't know, like what's not being said about this is just I had a coronary during this match. Oxlade-Chamberlain scored a really, really, really good attacking midfielder's goal at the start. Could Ederson have done better than not? I'm going to actually say no. I think it was perfectly hit.
I don't think he was expecting it. I think it bounced a bit.
Yeah,
it was surprising.
I thought it was well hit, to be honest. I really wouldn't fault him too much for it.
Then Sané before the break
definitely fault the keeper there.
Got Karius.
We can agree on that one.
It was a thunder bastard. It was a thunder
It
bastard.
was a great pass. Was it De Bruyne to Sané?
It was De Bruyne to Sané.
His first touch
Gomez
was incredible,
caught out,
but Gomez was caught out.
Gomez got caught out by the ball over the top from De Bruyne. As we look, this is a weird game because you have to remember City hit the post and it was finished 4-3. Even though I think everyone's in agreement Liverpool were the better team. But what does that mean? City were still okay, if not good at times.
City were good.
De Bruyne was absolutely stunning.
That's the thing about De Bruyne really stood out for me. How well he played, even though his team lost. Like a lot of these games, where was he today? He wasn't there. It's like, well,
it doesn't happen with him.
And I'm not taking it away from you. I think if David Silva had played, I think they would have unlocked you at the start of that second half.
In the second half, Firmino was able to
totally deserved it.
Firmino was able to chip Ederson after a mistake from Otamendi.
That was the slowest thing ever. Who was the?
Stones.
Was it Danilo? Danilo who was almost back there.
Was it?
Yeah, Danilo. Yeah, he kind of
looked like he could have got there.
You're right.
He
Sorry,
probably could have got.
Well, I think it was one of those where there was no like he was close.
He was close to it. Muniesa when Gerrard scored against Stoke. It's like, man,
no. That's very different. That's very
standard.
It's not match fixing.
That's a very, very different. Thank you very much.
But I think he couldn't have hit it. But this match was like I didn't even enjoy it. Like I think Liverpool have played better this season, and I think that City could have smashed it. Like it's like all
Liverpool defended great until they got really tired on 80 minutes.
The story of the match was told.
Bad.
The story of the match is being told now because Liverpool ended up winning it. But like there's a video that's gone mad now of Andy Robertson chasing down everyone and giving away a foul. But if Ederson's distribution, if he got the ball, he could have just whacked it to Sterling and then that's it. But I just think that one of these
that's
things,
not true.
Liverpool hit the post and got 3 goals in 9 minutes, and that's
right. They hit the post in between the Mane and Salah goal.
That won them the match.
The Firmino Mane goal.
But
Salah goal was incredible. Ederson with an error. It was weird. It was like Ederson has been so great in terms of shot stopping, and obviously distribution is his main key, and the ball at his feet and all that stuff. He was visibly shaken for whatever reason. Like he lost.
I don't think he'd ever played in that kind of condition or atmosphere.
Best I'd heard Anfield in a long time.
Yeah,
since Dortmund probably.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I thought
they need to stop playing Sterling at Anfield though. The poor lad is having an awful.
He got taken off early.
Sterling every time he plays at Anfield since he's moved.
I tell you what, I love Liverpool fans for the most part, especially match ticket buying Liverpool fans. But this booing Sterling shit has to stop.
I'm fine with
well, especially when he's booed when he's in Ireland. It's like
that's different. That's Irish Liverpool fans.
That's the worst. Now I'll say one thing about City. They made 3 mistakes that you punished them. I mean severely. Like it was brilliant, and it was in such close time as well.
Yeah,
I think if Otamendi had scored, made it 2-1. I think they would have gone and won it. But I wouldn't blame Pep or City. There was 3 mistakes they made, but they were brilliant, and they didn't stop playing. Like after every goal, the camera went to Guardiola. Did they extend to him? Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing.
It was amazing. It was incredible.
I must say, both managers, right? Klopp gave it everything. Guardiola gave it everything, and I've always had a pop Mourinho for taking excuses, Wenger not seeing things, whatever. I must say, both managers, I have so much respect for both managers. I love them both. They both should be completely applauded for the way they acted. How the teams played. They both went for it. The Guardiola, first thing he says, first of all, congratulations Liverpool. They played a brilliant game and deserved it.
And you can say that though when he's 12 points.
No, but
or
I think he'd say
points.
it anyway.
I agree with you, John, but do you know why else I think it's a pretty gracious thing to say? Nobody's beaten him more times than Klopp.
I
He obviously has a huge amount of respect there.
Good respect between both teams, both clubs, and I think both managers kind of realise like what they're in now. I'd say Klopp nearly had a heart attack. I know he's all played well. I think Lovren is still an absolute complete liability. What the hell he was doing?
Terrible.
He held up Firmino's jersey, which is not.
What was he doing trying to head that ball?
He got stuck in a pothole.
Like, what's he doing?
Dan, he's terrible. He got retired. Do you see? That's why Virgil van Dijk was bought, my friend. Look, nobody's saying Lovren for captain or Lovren for president. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
do you know what the cumulative score between both managers are now? In all the games they played together? 1916. Funnily enough. All right, let's get to the awards because we're going long here, fellas. I'm going to start off with Hero of the Week because we're talking about him. Jurgen Klopp getting giddy that he was on American television and his boss would be watching, and then saying you could look at that match and say, oh, that was really good, or what the fuck was that? And I've never heard a man say fuck so excitedly.
But you know what he said? He goes, I
thought it was okay in America.
I thought it's okay in America to say that. No. Oh. It's like, that's why everyone loves Klopp as well. I think he just seems to be a stand-up guy.
A genuine man.
He's just like I think him and Guardiola, I think you honestly could go out for points with them and have brilliant football discussions, conversations. But they're not arseholes. That's why I like the two of them.
But Klopp has more charisma than any player in the league, and I think
him and Conte have the two most.
But Conte's charisma is more of a kind of a I'll cut you if you cross me charisma, whereas Klopp is like
I'll have a beer
and a pack of Rothmans. John, your Hero of the Week?
I just heard a great story. I know I gave out about his run there, but Andy Robertson, he was released by Celtic. I think they didn't think he was strong enough.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, John. You said to me that you had a problem with the run, and I said keep it for the show, and that's what you were saying. Because we could have been caught out with Sterling.
Yeah.
As soon as Andy Robertson did that and became a Liverpool legend in the space of 10 seconds, Ox dropped straight in.
Yeah, but
Ox dropped in. Like, the ball over the top wouldn't have happened.
But it's a silly run. You say Liverpool are tired after 10 minutes, and there's our left back going.
Yeah, I can understand both.
He made some good tackles.
I can understand both of your
One of Gerrard's best qualities was when he lost the ball, no matter where it was in the pitch, he would go out of position to get that back.
The amount of matches we lost because of Steven Gerrard doing his silly Hollywood slide tackles, like getting them sent off, or silly Hollywood
or shooting from 50 yards.
I'm not getting into this. Yeah. Well, that's why Raf only allowed him 3 per game.
He went to the lower leagues, and his parents were like, we can support you for like 1 year while you do this football thing part-time.
Who's this?
Andy Robertson.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay. And then he ended up in Hull, and now he's future Liverpool captain probably.
But Hull though, I always liked him at Hull.
As I said to you, John, I'm ready for Alberto Moreno to return to his home planet.
You've finally given up Moreno.
Have you seen Robertson? Have you seen him? Have you seen him?
Yeah,
I said Robertson. A clean sheet.
Yeah, and I also said Robertson should be playing at the start of the season, not Moreno.
I honestly don't think
you would look, Dan. I'm not saying that you don't have tremendous nous for checking who's a good up and comer and all that, but he is surpassed. He's good. Surpassed expectations at a club that's joint number 2.
He's doing well.
Dan, your Hero of the Week.
Even though he was done for spitting a few weeks ago. Samuel Saiz off Leeds played the remainder of Toby Nee. He's the young kid, but lymphomia, and he gave I think it was like 40 grand or something. He paid.
Was this not your hero last week?
No, it was his birthday last week.
Oh, this is part 2.
And now the players coughed up the rest of the money. No pun intended in that.
What would you have to do to get back in your good books as a perennial spitter?
I think it would have to be something like that. Okay. But like, I don't have 40 grand to give or whatever. But like, I think that was good. So
awesome.
No, so he's got enough money to go to the States and get that. So John, I like that. It's a nice story.
It is a very nice story. It's a really nice story. John.
What are we doing?
Why were you laughing on your phone? Into the mic.
I was laughing at Dan.
Oh, okay, I thought you looked like you were reading something. What is your hero? Who is your hero?
It's very rude, isn't it? Talking and he's on his phone.
Sorry. Goal of the week, please, sweetheart.
The goal of the week. I like Decore's against his hand. It's always
That
funny
was
when that goes
how
in.
the referee didn't see that. I mean, literally, it was.
Johnny Evans' bullet header was nice. There was a lot of good, nice goals this weekend. I'm going to go with Harry Kane's first with the Son assist.
Yep.
I just thought that was nice.
I'm going to go with Suarez, as I said earlier.
Suarez's chip and Messi's free kick that was about 40 feet in the air and then landed.
Do you
in the
guys
bottom
remember
corner,
the Eto'o goal I'm talking about, though?
Yes.
Yeah,
It is the exact same, isn't it?
The Eto'o
I
one was
remember that
nice,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. Suarez. I'm surprised you didn't give. After I said to you the Suarez goal, you said Firmino's was better. Do you think it was? Firmino's chip is better than Suarez?
I think Firmino had more to do.
Can I say on a personal level? Because I try not to talk about Liverpool too much, but on a personal level, the Salah goal was my goal of the week because I've injured myself during it. I'm still having problems with my wrist.
Is that what you're
yes, it is exactly
okay.
why that
Jesus,
happened.
It wasn't that good.
And it was, I lost
They're
my mind.
wanking off at the TV. Like,
It has uses. My wrist, that is. Your
listener,
Hi.
listener of the show, sorry. He, when Liverpool went 4-1 up, he had money on a draw and he cashed out at 12 cent. So he got very, very angry towards the end when it got to 4-3 and Aguero looked like he'd scored that dive.
if Aguero would score that header,
Well, it was offside. But
no, but I'm just saying if that had gone in, I think Liverpool would have been like I actually thought City were going to score.
I was the most nervous
I just-
I've been since
I just
Dortmund.
like-
It's the most. This game didn't mean anything, and it was the most nervous I've been since Dortmund. I was watching with my head around the corner. I was in the kitchen, like half looking at the TV the last 5 minutes.
I've sort of given up. I've breaking the wall here of the show. Me and Dan texting each other where Liverpool take a good lead and Dan gets into us. Told you Klopp was good. And all
Oh,
that stuff.
God, here we
And then
go.
we concede a few goals. I'm like, Dan, I told you Klopp is.
But
a
I
buffoon."
wouldn't
Lads,
blame.
lads,
I wouldn't blame.
lads.
You can't blame Klopp for those goals you conceded.
If it keeps
No, I
happening,
can blame.
you
I
absolutely
blame
can.
it. I blame a tired Dejan Lovren. I think if Van Dijk was in that squad, it would have been. It wouldn't have been 3 conceded. Would you agree? We've only seen him once. It's still light outside. Your spoofer of the week, John.
I'll go with Ryan Giggs because I don't really have one.
Like
That must have been some
yeah.
job interview.
All right, Dan.
The spoof for the week is the French referee
Oh,
who
thank you.
when the player ran into him by mistake, he's running past him.
Yes, he was. He ran into by mistake during a counter attack.
Yeah, during counter. So they cross wired, and then he fell, and the referee kicked him,
Kicked the man.
and then gave him a straight red card and sent him off. So now the ref has been banned or something, and your
course
man
he has.
that's been overturned. The red, but like unbelievable. Like
Oh, I do actually.
and that was in the
have a spoofer.
PSG game, and
I just thought of
also
one.
Saido Berahino for
That was the one I was.
that was
thinking
one,
of.
yeah. That was
showing
incredible.
up.
That was my one too. That's gone.
Sorry,
No, that's
well,
fine.
you can take that.
No,
you know.
okay.
You can take it.
He showed up and supposedly was it who said it to him?
It was Kurt Zuma. Was
Zuma, yeah.
I don't know why they were all bit there. Anyway, maybe they told him.
He could have been there at physical therapy. Who knows?
Maybe.
The thing about the French thing, and I heard it brought up on a podcast this week, is technically, in terms of interference, like if the ball accidentally hits the ref or anything like that, yeah, he's counted as part of the field. That's how he's counted. He's not counted as a player. He's counted as part of the field, part of the scenery, right? So it's essentially, I heard to put that, and that is how they're qualified. So it's essentially like hitting the post or the corner flag with a ball and being sent off for it. Like that's running into the post and being sent off is essentially what happened to that man.
Yeah.
By the rules of the game. Do you have anything else, John?
Now that it looks like Andy Carroll's injured for a month and Chelsea are clearly looking for an English tall man, will Peter Crouch get a big move?
No, he won't. Okay, before we do the fantasy, thank you, Dan. You have a teaser for us here.
Well,
you had to write it down.
Gonna give you a quick quiz, right? So I was gonna put.
Jesus.
Oh no!
How long is this going to take? We're over an hour here.
Oh, we can do it till next time. if you
Nah, do
want.
it now.
Okay, we'll do it now.
Can't
Right.
tease the
Go
fans.
toilet.
Okay, so I'm just gonna.
We don't need you.
So.
Well, considering you're showing in the
I'm gonna give
international
you six
goals quiz.
names. I'm gonna give you 6 names for footballers in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
And you have to get the numbers. And the first person to get it gets a point.
So you're giving us the player, not the number.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
Or
going
would
to give
you
us the
rather?
number.
Or would you rather?
Nah, just do the player number thing.
Okay, so how does this go?
So
Is it,
if I say Gerrard, you'll say number 8.
do we buzz in, or how are we doing this?
Yeah, just say it. Okay, so the first number.
Say your name. Say your name. How about that for
Okay, so the first name I'm gonna give you is Aguero.
Buzz 11.
No,
Shit.
John.
I think I'm wrong with this. He's like
He's
26 or
10.
something.
He's 10. He's 10.
Yes,
He's 10.
well
He's
done,
10.
yeah.
He's 10. He's 10.
26.
All right. 11 and 26. What the hell are you talking about?
Life.
Okay. Let's see. Robertson off Liverpool.
Buzz.
Yeah.
14.
23.
He's not 23. Cat's 23. Buzz.
Yeah,
He's 42.
John.
Shit.
27.
Oh, Jesus, guys.
15.
No, he's in the 20s.
Shit. 26.
Yes, you don't have to buzz in because we here all day. 2-0 to nil. John will never win a quiz in this show.
This
right.
is why I'm not needed. Go.
Let's see. Alexis Sanchez. No, sorry, Mesut Ozil.
11.
8.
John.
Oh, shit. Ramsey's 8, is he?
Ramsey's 8, yeah. Okay, let's pick a Man United player now.
Go to pick a pocket door too. It's a big
Rashford.
25. Is he not 25?
Rashford.
28, 29.
11.
That's Martial.
Yes. He's right.
He's right.
20.
The melts in your mouth.
21.
23.
Oh.
Pass. Can we pass?
19.
Yes! Right.
John gave me the Iggy there. He did accept the pass.
Okay, you were talking about him earlier. Most underrated player in the Premier League, playing for Spurs. Son.
7.
Yes, John! 3 in a row. Right.
Oh, what a comeback.
So now,
Istanbul.
I have to think of another one. Who have I got?
Istanbul.
A Chelsea player now.
Yeah, John, if you get this right, you win. If I get it right, it goes to a tie break.
We're going to go for a little Rudiger.
Oh my
2.
god.
John!
He is 2.
John wins 4-2.
I had that.
Well
I had
done.
That. I had the
Well done,
I had the
John.
Son one as well.
So there we go. Very good.
Waiting for Wilfred Boney because it's just the odd number 2.
Moving on to our different competition. In 19th place of Fantasy Football, we have Danny Kilmartin, Tommy Normal, Rob Normal, Noah Keeley is the bottom 4, Ronan O'Reilly in 15th place, Reg Harrison in 14th, David Gogan in 13th, Stephen Lane in 12th, Shane Lahart 11th, Regis Kerr in 10th, Dave Nolte in 9th, Ryan O'Doherty in 8th, I am in 7th place, John is in 6th place, Dan is in 5th place. We're within 17 points of each other. Stephen Vincent.
That's a lot of points.
Stephen, it is
That's
really.
a Premier League title race.
Stephen Vincent in 4th, Tommy Eastway in 3rd, James. Did someone fart? James Byrne in 2nd, and Adam Joyce.
I had a look at this the other day.
Oh my God, James is catching up with Joyce.
James was ahead of him there for a day or two. Yeah, so
he's dropping the ball. Adam Joyce. Does Adam Joyce listen to this podcast?
Oh, my now.
The more you know. You can catch us at ITK Soccer Show. We're going to be doing a show next Monday for Liverpool and Swansea, so join us for that. Well, I've just made that up. If you enjoy the show, please tell people about it. We try to do it once a week, and we appreciate the listeners and the views. You can catch us YouTube.com/ITK Soccer Show, where you'll also get the archives, or Facebook.com/the ITK Soccer Show. Until next week, enjoy this weekend's Premier League, and we'll talk to you on Monday night.
Hello.